say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the second consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you. Love you.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tavis Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580, good morning and God bless. Happy Tuesday that feels like a Monday. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my very first thing today, like every day, is giving thanks to God, giving praises to the Most High, and asking for blessings. To bless the mic, and let's go. Okay, so this is how we do it on a Talking Point Tuesday. Hour 1, we look local, what's going on the left coast side of town. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or a thing or both. Deep dive, hot topic, important person, all of the above. Looking so forward to being joined in hour 2 today by Jasmine Canick. She always has incredible insights. And actually, it's me, you, and the microphone right now, 800-920-1580. And let us not forget Miles Lowe, who holds it down day in and day out. Of course, you are invited, cordially invited to join us on social media at any platform, KBLA 1580, looking for your commentary, your DMs, and your likes and follows, if you would. And then you can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/KBLA1580. That's where the conversation happens in the comments. Always appreciate having you there as well. It was Memorial Day weekend. I hope you had a good one. Got some vegan barbecue or some meaty meat, whatever you do, paid homage to the fallen ones, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. And hope you got some rest and recuperation time. It is sort of like, feels like the beginning of summer, which I love, my favorite time of year, when we get to be warm and hang out at the beach and all that good stuff. But it also was a somber weekend because 5 years since the murder of George Floyd. And man almighty, I went live on TikTok, Miles, with a giant picture of George Floyd behind me. And woo, I got so many racist comments. Wow. The boldness of these, white supremacists, or maybe they're not even white supremacists, all of them. Some of them are just brainwashed by these talking points. It really was a lot.
Is it on TikTok?
Yeah, I was on TikTok, and I went live. And
you say a lot. How many you say a lot is?
Maybe 10.
Okay.
10 comments of people saying stuff like, he died of a drug overdose. And those talking points that they're trying to make more and more prevalent of rewriting the history of what happened in 2020.
So are you sure they're real people and not bots?
No.
Saying that's where we at right now. Everybody's getting a lot of bot hate, a lot of bot love. So, you kind of really can't take this dead internet serious right now. But that's tough, though. We still getting that in 2025. All the things we could be getting, we getting bot hate talking about.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I'm pretty sure I know how to tell a bot on like Twitter or Instagram, but I don't know how to tell a bot on. And maybe I don't know all of them either, because I've heard that it's actually harder than, now that the bots are slicker than they used to be.
You're getting that. You're getting these, you're getting fake profiles that are bought and turned into bots, so that way they have real followers and followings and they look active and all that type stuff. So, yeah. You're safe out here, Dominique, on these TikTok streets.
So what do I do? I mean, I was told that now we're at the point where we're meant to ignore them.
There we go.
Ignore them. And sometimes I, jump in the, I mean, just like the situation on Instagram, there's these raging debates. One, that Judge Maybelline Ephraim about, alimony and spousal support. That conversation, that clip has 500,000 views.
Oh, okay. You transfer that over to TikTok too?
Yeah, it doesn't have as many views on TikTok, but yeah. And then, of course, the rapper Jay French, the reparations and the race, those are going crazy with like 250,000 views. So there's a lot of hate towards me on those because, I'm supporting reparations and blackness.
And that's the thing, too. You get caught in the algorithm cycle. So now people who, or bots or sites or whatever, who are trained to just do the hate, after they hate on one person and swipe up, your thing comes up. You know what I mean? You're in the algorithm of their hate funnel.
Yeah.
Same way we get into the algorithm of whatever we're looking at funnel. So, yeah, that's all it is. But you guys, that's tough. You got to ignore the hate the same way you got to ignore the love. And I hate being the one to have to ignore the love in the comments like that. But you can't let those bring you too far up, because then the down's going to bring you down.
So it's basically, I feel like sometimes you do have to jump in because you want to, engage with people that listen. So maybe if I see people with check marks or people that I know, those are the ones to respond to rather than the bots.
I think, like, what's your goal of going live? Is your goal of going live to get the most engagement possible? If that's the case, sure. Interact with the bots, interact with the comments, all that stuff. If the goal is to, I got to give it up for George Floyd, I've got to, get my spiritual connection, I'm doing this for a purpose, then probably ignore the bots, whether good or bad. But, the internet's not a real place, and it's definitely not real anymore.
It's not a real place, then how come I spend so much time there? No, but you're right. And it's a balance. So I bring it up because, partly because it's just a phenomenon, and I'm glad that more people are paying attention to my posts. And I welcome you to follow, like, and subscribe. I was happy to see people I know, like my girl Ariel, and then some blue checks like Jamel Hill was on there commenting back and forth, and some other folks Amber Rose made a comment. She was taking the side of the bots, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's a real person. So that's good. And if you guys want to get in on that, it's at my Instagram, diprimaradio, or the station KBLA 1580. My goal in going live on TikTok is to get some TikTok followers. I don't have too many. And now that, you know, they're letting me go live, I'm like, woohoo, I can go live. So I'm trying to do it more so I could get, you know, some followers. And also just because it's kind of, you know, a little novel. It's new for me. So I'm like, yeah, let's see. I'm going to go live on TikTok.
You building your platform too. So it's not like it's there's no harm in it for you, of course. But, you know, you see that's the trap a lot of people get into is arguing with bots that get sent their way. You know what I mean? Now who are you even mad at that point in time? So
right.
You know.
You're mad at a thing that isn't even real.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing is I was thinking about George Floyd and just the way, you know, in this moment in American history, they're rewriting history anyway. And now they're rapidly trying to rewrite Floyd in the way that the Trump administration gave up, well, really the Department of Justice as led by the Trump administration just gave up all police oversight pretty much last week, right? In time for that anniversary. So I was feeling like if you're in your feelings about that, or if 2020, I know there was a sizable crowd downtown for the Black Lives Matter, and other people teamed up, white people for Black Lives and Centro CSO and others downtown. There was a sizable crowd. And I know there was also a decent crowd at the memorial for George Floyd here in Leimert Park, Africatown, by the Black Power Fist. If you were there and it had you feeling some kind of way, or you started seeing the news reports, or you just, your own recollections have you feeling a way, I want to invite you to share that on a Talking Point Tuesday, the things we're telling ourselves and the things we're hearing now being said that should be addressed, either because we need to sort out reality from fiction, or because we need some fellowship and a radio podcast virtual hug. We're here for you. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And that one particular one that all the folks were saying on TikTok, George Floyd died from a drug overdose, which is not what the coroner said. It is not what the state attorney general said. It is a made-up talking point because there's this push to pardon Derek Chauvin, the cop who murdered him, who's currently doing time. And if they can convince themselves that George Floyd spontaneously kicked the bucket while this cop had his knee on his neck and he was saying he couldn't breathe from prior drug addiction, then you're blaming the victim and not the cop. So that's the reason behind that talking point. And I just feel like, I mean, most of us know that's BS, but these are things we have to keep pushing back on, because those talking points, if left unchallenged, can become debatable points for later generations, looking at stupid news reports and YouTube videos and TikTok lives, if they survive. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in on this or anything else. Unpacking ourselves too and our feelings, because I want us to be good. I don't want us to be feeling this as a setback, even as the current climate creates what I would call temporary challenges that we have to overcome. 800-920-1580. That's Miles Low. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this right here, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with
Dominique DiPrima.
when we come forward.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580. And we've got your black.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PUSH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station,
And your favorite morning show host.
Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, like I said, you're invited in at 800-920-1580. Miles was telling me about the streaming university, which I missed over the weekend. But loving that. I wish I would have been paying attention. I need all those tips. I need all those tips.
You know, and I think, too, I'm not going to hold you. I pulled up to the university to kind of hate a little bit.
Really?
You know what I mean? I'm not a big super fan of the streaming community.
Gotcha.
That's not my thing. I don't really sit and watch live streams all day. So I had a little bit of hate in my heart, but I was left impressed seeing, you know, all these young content creators come together and, you know, really give us a masterclass on what I think like networking is on a bunch of different planes online. So pretty much it's Kai Cenat. He had about, like, I think 120, 150 of the top content creators. He did like a draft, like an enrollment period where he picked the people. So now it's a big event. Who gets selected, who doesn't get selected. They came into like a college, I think it was like Akron State or Alcorn State or something like that. They ran out like a wing. College is out right now. Kids are on summer break.
Right.
And he brought them all in and had, you know, some of the biggest streamers, you know, put together classes on streaming, on, you know, content creating, on networking. Of course, it's a college scene, so the cafeterias and sports and little pool parties, little sex, some drinking, whatever. That's what kids do. It's college, right?
Yep.
But, you know, it just goes to show this is what we what we can learn from the youth, y'all. This is what they put together. This is their presentation, and it was fly, and it was respectable. And Kai Cenat had, he was saying that like Hulu and Tubi and Netflix were all trying to buy in on it before he went live doing it. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, in the time we get confused on what's really going on and the potential of what we got in front of us, that showed a lot of people what a blueprint could be. So shout out Kai Cenat for doing that. I just found the good in it. So
yeah, I wish. I'm gonna look for some clips and stuff because I need all the help I can get. And I think one of the things that would help folks that aren't as fluid as a Kai Cenat, who's probably one of the more popular online personalities in the whole world, is to pay attention when young people are, or people that are experts, even if they're not young. We had Rosie Milligan on here, Dr. Milligan, yelling at people for not being more tech savvy and AI aware. And I do believe sometimes folks are, well, I don't need to know that, or I've even heard myself saying that at times. What do I need Instagram for? That was a long time ago before I got hooked on it. But it's not a good idea. It's a better idea to learn and then pick and choose what you're going to use. And if the person teaching you happens to be a 20-something, who has a different whole world than you, then so be it.
Right. Well, also, too, you can learn from a fool. That's what my granddaddy always told me. So, I'm not saying they're fools, but you don't want to emulate them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you take their swag. They're doing something completely different. There was no consciousness in the university. I was looking for those type of streamers. Yeah. We didn't have nobody that represented that on the streams. There's a lot of different people that didn't make it, and I think about it, but just the blueprint, the foundation of what that is, the little skills you can pick up from that, the world building. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a bunch of different timelines going on at the same time. All these streamers are going live and streaming to their fan bases, and you're getting bleed over effect, you know what I mean, and cross promotion. So it's like wrestling. There's a bunch of different storylines going on, and who's doing this over here, and who's the champ over there, and are they ever going to finally meet together? And then they're in class together, and now you're following different people. So just the script of it, the storyline, the world building, the staying on code, because they all committed to to the character that they came into the university as. So
yeah, well, that's a fun way to learn when you get the characters and all the backstory. That's a fun way to learn. Yeah. But for sure, that's the frontier. And yeah, so anyway, follow me on TikTok. You never know when I might pop up doing something. I've been on trying to do lives here and there I did one from the hair salon. Well, it wasn't really a hair salon. I did one from me getting my hair done. Did one from the makeup salon. I did one, I was talking about George Floyed, and some of them are political. It's fun just to, fool around with it and learn kind of the uses of every different platform and all that. So I'll see you up there. I'll see you there. Meanwhile, if you want to reminisce, that really kind of did have me in my feelings. I'm glad you said, are those bots, Dominique? Because maybe they were, but still, it reminded me of the Jimmy Kimmel mean tweets segment, which I used to find really funny. One day I might have to come in here and do a mean comments, mean bots section. And it's interesting, looking at all of the write-ups and the way that the coverage is of 2020 and George Floyd and our movement now compared to then. That's talking points in real time. One thing that I've noticed is that the mainstream media will rarely cover police murders anymore. And there was a fascinating article which already affirmed other data that I've been tracking in the New York Times showing that the number of people killed by cops has gone up every single year since 2020. So while the protests yielded some changes, which some of them were seeing the Trump administration take back now, I believe that will be temporary. and that the abuses are going to lead to a more comprehensive national bill under whoever's next administration, but we'll see. But the fact that they are trying to go back and revise history, what we did not see, of course, it's still early on Tuesday, but what we haven't seen so far is a pardon or an attempted pardon by this administration of Derek Chauvin, even though the Attorney General for the state of Minnesota has made it clear that Chauvin will still have to serve state charges, maybe have a rougher time. The Attorney General didn't say that, but some activists have. In that state prison where more people were directly impacted by the protests are in there, and that where the Attorney General has made it clear that he will be holding the line and making sure this cop is accountable in this way. But he was a drug addict, he was a criminal, and now, I'm hearing about the bullying that his daughter is facing in 2025. Those are examples of why we have to, I believe, be really vigilant about the talking points that we say, the things that we repeat. Where do we get that from? Is it verifiable? Who does it serve? Follow the money. And the LA Times article was interesting in that it laid out how much the bungling of the management of those protests by the LAPD has cost the city at least $11 million, almost $12 million in settlements and jury awards, and that's not including, internal problems and the fact that these issues really haven't been fixed. And here we are 5 years later, different police chief, same I'm calling it methodology, but put a large grain of salt on that. 800-920-1580. We've got news, traffic, and sports. Then I would love to hear your reflections on any and all of the above. You are free to speak your mind, and the phone lines are open on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with BIN News Now. Severe weather is threatening millions, including many black people in the plains to the southeast as the long holiday weekend wraps up. The region has been pounded with nasty weather for days, affecting states including Oklahoma, Missouri, and Florida. This is also affecting air travel, with one black woman speaking out.
It's a bit stressful, You just want to get on the line, get checked in, and just go.
Many black basketball fans are happy to know that the Thunder is in the lead in the NBA Western Conference Finals. The team edged the Timberwolves 128-126 in Game 4 from Minneapolis. The 51st American Music Awards is in the books. The ceremony took place last night in Las Vegas with Megan Thee Stallion taking home an award for favorite female hip-hop artist. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us was crowned favorite hip-hop song. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Two different outcomes for LA's baseball teams on Memorial Day. The Dodgers got home runs from Shohei Ohtani and Will Smith in a 7-2 win at Cleveland. The teams meet up again tonight. After winning 8 straight, the Angels have lost 3 in a row. The Yankees beat the Angels 5-1. The Angels will try again tonight with the Yankees at Anaheim Stadium. Oklahoma City is only 1 win away from the NBA Finals. They beat Minnesota 128-126 to take a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals. 40 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds for OKC guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA MVP. This young brother is fun to watch. His mid-range game is outstanding. Game 5 is Wednesday night in OKC. Game 4 in the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight in Indianapolis. Indiana has a 2-1 lead over New York. The LA Sparks are back in action tonight in the WNBA. They're at home against the Atlanta Dream. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact eppsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's eppsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And our YouTube conversation in the comments is robust as always on a Tuesday. It feels like a Monday. And Miles are saying calling them bots. Forensic accountant said calling them bots lets the humans off the hook. I mean, some of those crazies are humans, but some of them are bots.
Yeah, I'm going to say, sometimes you are actually literally arguing with a fake profile that's automated to respond to what you said. Like, right. Its whole purpose of what you're about to argue with is to piss you off.
Yeah. And the name calling, oh my. I'm getting some names called to me. Well, you know what amazed me about the conversation with Jay French around race is that, and reparations, is that all these white people are jumping in there and they feel like, or European Americans or whatever y'all want to be called, non-melanated or not as melanated, because all of y'all are descended from Africa anyway, LOL. All the folks that are viewed as white in this country have jumped in yelling at me, telling me that I don't get to call myself black. So you as a white person feel, but you're right, it might not even be a white person. It might be a white bot saying that I can't call myself black. To me, if those are actual people, if any of them are actual humans, the audacity of feeling like you can define me. And all the black folks are in the chat talking about, yeah, we need reparation. Not all of them, a large number. But these white folks have jumped into the convo and just feel so free. Feel so very free to tell us what to do about reparations and race, which they invented, and we've had to be the victims of, or the victors, because I'm not a victim, the victors of. It's amazing.
Imagine if you were at like telekinesis and you could just read random people's minds all day. It's like, I don't really care what your mind is saying, bro. There's something wrong with your mind anyway. So I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't need to hear what's going on in your mind. That's how I look at these comments. We don't need to hear what's going on in everybody's mind all the time, but we can. And, you know, sometimes just turn the dial.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, it's like a cacophony of stupidity. Daniel Samir Siren says, the caucasity designed to discourage and disengage. Yeah, but sometimes I can't resist jumping in there and fighting with them a little bit. Just a little bit.
Get your pimp hand strong.
Just a little bit, yeah. Even for those people that are reading that aren't bots. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Carl calling us from LA. Good morning, Carl.
Hey, good morning, Dominique.
What's on your mind?
Hey, well, Academy, it's an academy on 61st. Create Academy. They say they need some funding over on 60th and
who doesn't
Crenshaw.
need funding? Everybody needs funding.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention it. You know,
okay.
The poor black kids over there, you know, they need some funding. You know, hey, well, I hope this ain't a talking point. Them gas prices going up to $8 a gallon at the end of 2026 since 47 got that new jet. I think that deal's already locked in. Ain't that, so, you know, hey, they playing the movie The Spook Who Sat by the Door over at UCLA.
Oh, really?
Friday. I'm trying to figure out why they playing that movie over there because it's just wild.
Your phone sounds terrible, Carl. I don't know what you did, but maybe you're in a bad area.
Yeah, I'm probably in a bad area.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll let you go with this one. Hey, but anyway, the budget came through with the mayor. It looked like she looked out for everybody, especially housing. That was a good thing. But I'm trying to figure out why she's going to put money into that new transit police department. I mean, the transit police department has been around since the 70s. I know somebody they gave a weapon to. He kept his record clean, and he bought him a house off that and got a pension and everything else way back from the 70s. But she threw that in trying to get this new police department together for transit. What's your thought on that?
Well, you know, I'm not one for getting more and more police departments. I hope that the Metro Board knows what they're doing, but I don't think a Metro Transit Department is the answer to our problems. I feel like a Metro Transit Department, a Metro Police Department is just another police department, and we're already spending too much money on law enforcement. So that's where I stand. Ain't nothing changed in that equation, Carl. Not at all.
Well, good thing she looked out for housing authority to put some money in the housing authority. There's a lot of seniors on vouchers. Thank you, Dominique, for giving me time.
Yeah, appreciate the call. 800-920-1580. That's the number Carl called, and you can do the same. We're going to go to Kwamel from Gardena. Hi, Kwamel.
Hi, Mr. Prima. I was wondering if I was on your S list, but I'll talk about that another time.
What? How would you get on that list? I don't even have that list anyway. I'm not Trump. I don't have an enemies list.
Just a vibe I called, but I said, nah, I'll get to that another time.
It was just your imagination running away with you, Kwamel.
See, the gaslighting, though. The darn gaslighting. See, now let me stop. Anyways, so Miles was talking about telekinesis, and I think he meant telepathy, but it brought up another pathy, and that's empathy. And how like those evangelicals have been talking about this whole empathy is a sin thing. Have you been hearing about that?
Yeah, tell it to Jesus, right?
I don't see where the understanding someone's situation, the having some compassion, where that's a thing you're supposed to purge yourself up and still think you're the good guy. That makes no sense to me unless you just really are on a cruelty is the point thing. I think that really needs to be explored in them. And there's no business calling these folks Christians unless you're just talking about a tribe of folks that want to have white nationalism come to effect and just want to hide that fact.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things in that Bad Faith, the documentary that we talked about some time ago on this show, is that it really traces the ways in which people of faith have been manipulated by political operatives into taking certain positions by these faith talking points, right? So it's not just a doctrine. I mean, I've always been confused by the whole, the prosperity gospel, because to me that also is contradictory to a lot of what we see Jesus doing, or even the question, what would Jesus do? And I used to struggle with that when I was one of the Harvey's Angels, because he's really into that. Steve Harvey's really into that. My riches prove that Jesus loves me more than you. And I just, to me, that, I mean, of course, they don't outright say it quite like that, but kinda. And I struggle with that. These are talking points which, just like during our enslavement, this idea that we were cursed, or that somehow slavery was justified by so-called Christianity. That's, I say so-called, because how can you be a Christian if you're justifying enslaving another person, or not caring for the least of these, as they call them?
And on top of that, it makes you wonder, are they trying to say that Christ is picking the enemies? Or, they're trying to, they have this enemies, like I just got to say in the S list. Do they have these enemies, and then they just try to say, oh, okay, these are God's enemies. These are Jesus's enemies. If you're a good Christian, you're supposed to hate these people. And just kind of all run with that as I was saying in the chat, a bodish kind of decree, a manifesto to give to their whole congregation.
Their God is a bodish God. That's crazy to me. I mean, because it's super simpleton, right? It's like, pick a side, good and evil. Well, we're humans, so we all have some of both in us, right? Poor is bad, wealthy is good. Is that what you're saying? What about the eye of a camel and all that stuff? I mean, there's a disconnect between ethics, character, what you know is right and wrong, and what some folks are deciding to adopt in order to justify their own avarice and lack of giving a ish.
I mean, exactly. I mean, even looking at the idea of calling folks that are poor, unhoused, a moral failing.
Yeah.
And saying like, oh, you're just lazy. You're not doing enough. Pulling up by your bootstraps. You're not doing enough in the name of this American ideal. This to support the hegemony, and lifting yourself up. And on that same note, you ever see somebody, anybody in the audience? You ever see someone locally walk around like I did in Venice yesterday? I saw somebody walking around with a MAGA hat on, and you ever just feel the need, not feel the need, but feel the urge to maybe want to ask them a question or finally talk to them like okay, what are you trying to say in this moment of there being a clear and present dictator? Like, is that what America's supposed to be? Is this what you want, or is it that you just like the big strong man, bad boy, ashy, goofy bronze dude in office? I sometimes wonder if these folks are spoiling for a confrontation. If they're ready for action with the pepper spray, got a 9 in the small of their back, and all these other things.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have that urge more now, because I'm wondering how the way things are going down is impacting their thinking, or if it is at all. Because what I hear and see on TV is that people are holding on to their talking points, even as the price of eggs is not going down, even as the price of gas doesn't appear to be decreasing, and the wars that were supposed to go away on day one are raging on. I wonder how they're feeling right now, but I think maybe I have a little more hope now that there could be the possibility of their seeing the error in their ways, but I could be wrong. I don't know. And also because I'm going through a phase of, hopefully a lifetime phase of working on being more understanding of other people's points of view. I mean, I've always listened, but I've seen some situations where we think one thing and it turns out another. I've seen that happen so much lately in the news that I just always want more and more information now.
Yeah, I'll land on this note. Now, I definitely feel where you're going with. I'll land on this note. I wanted to ask about with this big crummy, awful bill, and the idea of cutting Medicaid. Whether you see how it would affect Medi-Cal and how badly we just all get thrown off Medi-Cal locally. And I'll take your comments off the air that if it's after the break, that's fine too. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Kwame. I appreciate the call. And you ain't on no list but the VIP list, my brother. Only the VIP list. Kwame called 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. We are unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Imagine every pregnant person in LA County having the support they deserve. A doula on every block. Doulas provide emotional, physical, and informational support during pregnancy, through labor, and beyond. Medi-Cal now covers doula care. That means you can get the support you need or train to support families in your community. The LA County Medi-Cal Doula Hub is here to help. Learn more and get started today at ladoulahub.com.
Pasadena City College is proud to support Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. For over 100 years, PCC has been a pillar of the community, and we're here for you as we work together to recover from the Eaton fire and rebuild Altadena's future. At PCC, we offer diverse career education programs that prepare you for in-demand jobs, fueling both today's recovery and tomorrow's growth. Whether you're starting a new career or advancing your skills, PCC gives you tools to build your future and your community. Pasadena City College, here for the Dena, here for you. Learn more at PCCfordena.com.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Barbecue season is back.
Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese, I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back indeed, 800-920-1580. If you got something to say, this is a place to say it, really the place to say it. I'm going to just claim it and name it. So some people were wilding out in downtown LA, apparently. They said, according to ABC7, there were up to 1,000 people early Sunday morning that were down there spray painting graffiti, and this is on Trinity Street in East Washington. They're calling it an unpermitted party at an abandoned warehouse where some folks tagged up a cop car and 2 Metro cars and then reportedly broke windows, although I'm not seeing that in this report, but they're saying they're claiming they assaulted some officers and one needed medical attention after being hit in the face with a bottle. The mayor vowing to work with the city attorney and the DA to hold folks accountable. Basically, people getting out of control on a holiday weekend. It's not my favorite thing, but it's also not, it's always the ones where you get the video, the scary video, or, what do you call it? Sensationalistic video that is going to make them, oh no, the smash and grab, let's play it on the news 7,000 times and scare everybody. Crime is down. Violent crime is down. People getting drunk and spraying up stuff, and 1 or 2 fools breaking windows or trying to, attack people. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't actually equal an escalation in crime. It equals what it equals, which is some people having an unauthorized party and acting like idiots. Apparently, there'll be they were supposed to be putting into place multilingual alerts. So like when a natural disaster happens, or like the climate emergency driven fires that we had in January, they're supposed to be giving out alerts in multiple languages now. But that has been defunded by the Trump administration. And we saw that black folks didn't get them anyway in Altadena. Now it's apparently a problem for everybody that is a non-English speaker. It's crazy. Different, think Asian API languages and Spanish, etc. We're going to go to Willie calling us from Palmdale. Good morning, Willie.
Good morning, Dominique. Good morning, KBLA delegation. I was calling to ask you, have you ever heard of a author by the name of Emma Goldman?
The anarchist poet, yeah.
Yeah, I ordered one of her books. It was interesting reading about her, minority versus majority.
What made you want to read Emma Goldman?
Because she's in a book. She was in a book that she was mentioned in a book that I'm reading. The Plot. It's called The Plot.
Oh, I see. And her name came up. Yeah, she was, I guess, Russian-born, and she was an activist and a writer, a revolutionary, really influential, and for American anarchists here in the United States. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I like. She mentioned someone that she said they was an aristocrat of the soul, not of the wallet. And I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Aristocrat of the soul. Yeah, it's well said. She was also a feminist. It's talked about less, but also known for that. Boy, the things we talk about on First Things First. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate the call. Appreciate the thought. Let's go to Mike calling us from Kansas City. Good morning, Mike.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for taking my call. Gerald Horn, on his program Activist News Network this weekend, he made a point that I hadn't heard anybody else talk about as to why Trump supporters are willing to vote against their own interests. And he compared it to South Africa. He said, they were willing to take sanctions, short-term pain, long-term gain. Apartheid is done away with. So he said for Trump voters, it may be that even with this big, awful bill, they're willing to endure Medicaid cuts, housing vouchers done away with, elimination of affirmative action, DEI, so that whiteness, again, I forget the exact term, but whiteness gets back the privilege that it had before we won all of these gains. And
yeah, I mean, it's a version of a. I mean, Dr. Gerald Horn is a genius, but it's a version of a point we've heard before, which is that. Okay. Not to downplay his point, but just to build on it. Mm-hmm. During enslavement and indentured servant, there was indentured servants who were white, or even during the Depression and other eras where there was extreme white suffering. We're seeing it now in terms of the economic suffering, the differentiation, the emphasis, the re-emphasizing of whiteness and the protection of whiteness makes those folks feel like they have something up on someone. They're not the bottom of the bottom. And that's, to me, that's the part of the big appeal of Trumpism. Make America great again means make whiteness dominant again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real quick, if I can make one other point.
Yes,
this weekend in Kansas City, the Patriotic Front, a hate group, marched in Kansas City. But they marched downtown. They did not. Kansas City is divided. There's actually a racial divided line. It's called Truce. Truce was a slave owner. Blacks generally live east, whites live west. They did, in Lincoln Heights, I guess they figured out, hey, you don't march through black communities. So in Kansas City, they didn't march east of Truce, where there are a lot of black folks. They marched downtown. So again, thanks for taking. I guess they've learned you don't do that.
Oh, they marched where it was a little where they would consider it more safe.
Yeah, through downtown. Thanks again for taking my call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a great point. We've seen white supremacists attempting to march in Watts, marching here in Leimert Park on Crenshaw and getting run out, just as we saw in Ohio. So I guess you're right. Stay where it's safe. Nevertheless, the fact that they feel that bold right now is a problem. It is perhaps the problem facing America at the moment. Mike called 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. News, traffic, and sports right now.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with BIN News Now. Severe weather is threatening millions, including many black people in the plains to the southeast as the long holiday weekend wraps up. The region has been pounded with nasty weather for days, affecting states including Oklahoma, Missouri, and Florida. This is also affecting air travel, with one black woman speaking out.
It's a bit stressful, You just want to get on the line, get checked in, and just go.
Many black basketball fans are happy to know that the Thunder is in the lead in the NBA Western Conference Finals. The team edged the Timberwolves 128-126 in Game 4 from Minneapolis. The 51st American Music Awards is in the books. The ceremony took place last night in Las Vegas with Megan Thee Stallion taking home an award for Favorite Female Hip-Hop Artist. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us was crowned Favorite Hip-Hop Song. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Is this the takeover? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Two different outcomes for LA's baseball teams on Memorial Day. The Dodgers got home runs from Shohei Ohtani and Will Smith in a 7-2 win at Cleveland. The teams meet up again tonight. After winning 8 straight, the Angels have lost 3 in a row. The Yankees beat the Angels 5-1. The Angels will try again tonight with the Yankees at Anaheim Stadium. Oklahoma City is only 1 win away from the NBA Finals. They beat Minnesota 128-126 to take a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals. 40 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds for OKC guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA night in the WNBA. They're at home against the Atlanta Dream. No debates, no speculation, just the info.